Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm excited about our next guest, who is on the way other side of the pond, in places I like to be now instead of where I'm at, to be honest. But let's welcome to the show, Nicol from STELLVRIS. How are you?
Exactly. Hello, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing phenomenal. I have been to your country once, absolutely loved it, and I was road tripping through Europe, and when I drove over that bridge from Czech Republic over to Germany, and it was like there was like a blizzard going on, and the wind was really strong. It was probably one of the scariest bridges of my life. And I've been through a lot of them. Like my car moved over a whole lane without me doing anything. It was wild.
Yeah.
So I just have to say, your music is so badass. And I know you've played a lot of European festivals, but I didn't see in the list of one of the ones that I love to cover, and I do every year, Hellfest. And I think you guys definitely belong in Hellfest, so I'm just putting it out there.
We haven't played on a Hellfest. We played Summer Breeze. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You haven't played it yet, so I'm putting it out there in the universe so that they can invite you to play there.
That would be super amazing.
then we could do the interview on site. But what's your favorite festival to play that you've played so far in Europe?
In Europe, well, it's always very hard to pick just one, because I would say that all the festivals we played, we had absolute blast. People were amazing and crazy, but I think that if I really have to pick just one, it would be Summer Breeze in Germany this year. It was something, wow, totally different.
So what is it like at Summer Breeze? Because like I cover festivals all over the US, UK, Europe, and I haven't done that one yet. So what makes that one unique?
You should definitely. Well, for me, I really love metal communities. So whenever we are playing festival that is really like for metalheads, I always feel like home. And it's the same, like for example with Brutal Assault here in Czech Republic or Fight Fest. It's just like it's a metal festival, and people, the scene, the community is. It's just like where I really feel that I belong, and this is the same with Summer Breeze. And if you have ever been to Germany, and you told me that you almost died on the bridge crossing the border from Czech Republic to Germany. I would say that you would agree with me that the German scene is something different, and the metalheads there, the community of metalheads in Germany is different, and it's they're crazy, wild, and really nice people. And for us, it was the biggest maybe festival we've ever played so far, and it was just, I was so scared. Like I'm not nervous normally, but you could count the number of the festivals or shows that I was nervous just on like fingers on one hand, and this was definitely one of them, because it was like there were so many people, and I knew that there are so many important people, and that we really have to crush it there, like we really have to nail it there. And it was amazing. The people were so supportive. Whenever I told them, please sit down, they did it. Do Wall of Death, they did it. catch me when I do the stage dive. They called me. And then we had a signing session. It was like a huge queue. And again, crazy. And I really felt like home. I really like the people there, the community, the way they are behaving. It's just like, yeah,
It is
crazy.
true too, because like, so I was so fascinated by the metal scene in Berlin when I and all the little like underground clubs and the whole scene. It was really, really cool. And then also, like, I've done grass pop and I made a whole bunch of German friends at grass pop. In fact, I was dating a German woman that I met at grass pop because they all drove over from Germany just to go to grass pop, you know? So I agree. Like, they're so fanatical about their metal and their music. And I think that's awesome. And you guys are definitely badass, so it's worthwhile.
Thank
I want to know how, like, you have this great clean vocal, and then you go into this brutal vocal, and I want to know how you do that so easily. And I'm always fascinated, actually, because I think a lot of the women in metal now are way more badass than the men, and especially with that growling brutal voice. It's like, oh my god. Like, and I see the technicality when you do it, like how you like move your mouth, and like I'm so fascinated by that. There's like other bands I feel the same way, like Courtney, from Spirit Box. Like when I watch her sing, I'm like, I'll be at a festival watching her, and I'm just fascinated by her mouth movement to go from like that beautiful, serene voice to that like brutal metal growl. So how do you do it? What's the secret to that?
practice, practice, practice.
That's true.
Basically, yeah. Well, the time when I decided to learn how to scream, it was like I was singing since I was a child, so singing was kind of natural for me. But then I started to listen to metal music, and then I was like digging like deeper and deeper into more like heavier and heavier music. And then when I heard Alisa from Arch Enemy, I was
Yeah.
like, that's that's what I miss. And so I found a teacher, and because I didn't want to lose my voice, I didn't want to damage it, so I was working with him, and I learned how to growl and scream. And then like with the practice and live shows, especially because you like you can screw anything when you're in rehearsal room, but when you are on a stage, you have to do it. You have to be 100%,
Yeah.
sure that you can do anything, and just to be focused on it. And so basically that was it. I was just practicing, practicing, practicing. And I'm very stubborn like person. And when I decided that I want to learn how to scream, I was screaming every single day, even though it was kind of dangerous, because like overusing your vocal cords is also very kind of it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, okay, it's just like I don't have time. I have to learn it as quick as possible. So that was how I learned it, basically.
And that's really smart that at least you learn to go learn how to do it properly. Because, like, when I was a teenager, I sang thrash metal and I thrashed my voice because we didn't know how to do that stuff. So you just, like, would scream like you were screaming in a fight, and then you couldn't even make it through a show, you know? So that's why it always amazes me when somebody could, like, scream like that and still make it through a show.
I was so afraid that I will lose my voice during the first shows we did. And I was very, like, I was afraid that it will happen to me and that something like this happen. And like, I couldn't imagine myself like that this would be me, that I would lose my voice. So I really learned how to do it properly, like with proper technique, which is,
Yeah.
I would say, essential, like when you do this. And the key, like for me, not to lose the voice and just to be like brilliant in your technique, is that you really have to control your emotions. and it was
Oh, there
something
you
that
go.
I was badly, yeah, it was struggling like with this at the beginning because everything was new, and I was really like, okay, and I'm going to show you how I scream and how angry I am and how metal I am, and it was dangerous because whenever I was like this, then I was just like screaming through my throat, and I was like, and it hurt me so bad,
Yeah.
and then I learned how to just have these emotions, but to have them under control, so I could sing and scream through the whole set and in the studio and everywhere. And right now I know like what to do, but it took some time.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've obviously worked hard at it because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to sing right now for sure. And and what was that one moment in time where you got exposed to metal? What band was it, and how did it happen?
So the first time I heard metal, like music, or
Yeah, exactly.
I would say it was like when I was like very small because my dad is a metalhead. So he had all the CDs with Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, Metallica, Slayer, all those like, bands. So he was listening to metal music and he introduced me to this. But my mom, she's a fan of pop music. So she was like, okay, I would like you to sing, but let's sing something like poppy. And so she tried to, just to bring some colorful clothes on me and just like to be this girly girl. And I have never been such a girl. So now I'm just like, I'm sorry, mom. I promised her, I promised her on our first EP and then the full length album that one song, I'm not screaming at all. One song. That's it. So every time she's complaining, I'm just telling her, take a look at these two songs we have. No screaming. This is for you. That's it. So yeah, when I was a child, my dad introduced me to metal.
Nice. What was the first band you heard? Do you even
I
remember?
no, no, but I remember those CDs and everything. So I would say maybe Ozzy Osbourne was the first one I heard, but I'm not sure. I'm not really
Wh-
sure.
I think that's true for a lot of us, actually. I remember for me, I was in like seventh grade, and somebody my this friend I met, he had this album. It was black with white writing and the S's in red, which was Sabbath. We sold our souls for rock and roll, and I right then and there I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, and it, like you, it progressed from there because then it went into like heavier stuff, and then like you mentioned Metallica and Slayer. I was at their first shows ever, and
Yeah,
that was it. After experiencing stuff like that, and people don't realize, like, they look at metalheads and they make these assumptions, but we're like one big family with nobody's an outsider, everybody's included, nobody's bullied, nobody, like, people don't understand the mosh pit isn't about hurting people, it's about getting in there and getting your aggressions out without hurting people, you know and
exactly.
and so everybody, like, now with everything going on in the world, the safest place I ever feel is in a metal crowd at a festival, because just everybody just loves everybody, and it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. Nothing else matters. We're just one big community.
I can't agree more. That's why
And
I'm
I
not afraid to go to mosh pits, go to Wall of Death, because whenever I go there, I'm just like, when I'm passing around the guys, they're like 2 meters tall, and I'm like this, they're like that, and whenever I do this, like, okay, they're super tall, but I'm not afraid of them. I'm just like, as you said, whenever I see that somebody just fall down in the mosh pit, circle pit, now the whole like masses that they just stop, help the people up, and then they just like continue. And this is like, yeah, I can say it like differently. I really love metal community and metal scene, and I really feel like home when I'm on these
Exactly.
festivals.
And only people like us can really understand that. Because, like, even I have a brother and he just can't understand it for the life of him, you know. But no matter what you explain, you just have to experience it. And it's just a feeling, it's just a part of something. And, you know, a lot of us people that became metalheads, we didn't have that on the outside world. You know, you got bullied or people picked on you for whatever reason, however, you were different. And I think that's one of the coolest things. In fact, I have this idea that we could solve all the world's problems that we have right now, which there's a lot of them, by just having one big metal festival that everybody's required to attend except the politicians. They're not allowed to go there. Everybody else, and then we would actually unite, stop being divided, stop labeling everybody, and accept everybody for who they are. And as I always say, you do you, you be you, you know, and
Exactly.
we need to pull that off. And that's a lot about what you write in your music too. So that's what I dig about your music. A lot of people also, because they don't understand metal, they don't understand the deepness of the lyrics and what the message is. So maybe tell the listeners about you and your songwriting and what message you put out there in your music.
Yeah. I think like as most of the musicians, I went through some mental health issues, and I put all these topics in our lyrics. So we have songs about anxiety, depression, burnout, and also like feeling different. This song is called Renegade. And I also pay attention to not only these like inner things, this like mental health issues, but also, for example, Silence After Violence. This is the last song we released, and this one I wrote when the first idea came when this crazy guy was shooting at Charles University in Prague, and he
Mm.
shot a lot of people, injured a lot of people. It was like before the Christmas, and it was terrible. And I could notice that the frustration, aggression, like amongst the society, is growing, and it's not only within us adults, but also it's going like deeper and deeper into younger and younger generations. And then Netflix just released it's a movie, or it's Adolescent, I think it's called like this. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see
It's
it. I
crazy.
wonder if it's in the U.S. I'm gonna have to look when I get home. I'm gonna have to go look.
I have to search for it. Maybe I'm naming it in a wrong way, but this like this thing is about a young guy who was accused from murder, and he was really young. And this whole story, I'm not going to spoil this, but it was crazy. It was crazy, and it just like it shows how these people are like the young generation are pretty in danger, like using all the social media and stuff, and also like using all those social media make them more um lonely maybe,
Yeah.
and they feel that they're not seen in offline world, and they're like like more in online world. And this is something that um is just very hard for me. And like for me, I have to use social medias and everything because I'm a vocalist. I need to present my music and everything, and this is like nowadays there's no other way how to promote your music, just like through your socials and
I-
everything.
yeah.
And
And it's so hard on musicians too because like I don't think people realize how much hate you guys get on social media, just like everybody. Like I find social media to be like antisocial, you know, and I have to use it too because of what
that's
I do, you know,
that's
and
true. That's true. That's
right. I mean, you would think it would bring people together, but it just amazes me how many people go out of their way for no reason to just spread hate against other people. Like if you don't like something, don't participate, don't say anything. Just let it go. Let other people, that's why I say you be you. Like most of these things that people complain about, especially in my country, and get angry about and attack about, doesn't affect their life in any way, shape, or form. And that's the part that blows my mind. Like we have it, as you probably know, pretty bad here right now with the division and the hate. And, it's just like, it's the oldest trick in the book, divide and conquer. Like we should love each other for our differences, not because we're the same.
I wrote song called Divided. That's
Mm,
basically what you are talking about.
totally. And I also have to say that I'm glad you write about those things, because there's a lot of these haters out there who say, oh, musicians should just stick to singing songs and not. Like, have you studied the history of music? It has always been a voice from a platform for these type of things. That music is some of the best therapy there is for you, the artist, and for me, the listener. No, you shouldn't not sing about these things. You should sing about these things so other people don't feel so alone. Because they're experiencing a lot of those things, and when you sing about it, it lets them know they're not alone. That's my viewpoint.
I totally agree with you.
And I do have to say, you talked about Silence After Violence. That song is so freaking badass. Like that
Thank you.
is truly metal. And I think people not only need to listen to it, but read the lyrics, because that's another thing with metal. People that aren't metalheads, they listen to metal and they don't know what the words are, and they think it's like violent and aggressive and, you know, death and destruction. And a lot of times it's the exact opposite, you know? Slayer was a perfect example of that, because everybody thought, oh, they're devil worshippers and it's you know, it's about death and destruction. No, like Jeff Hanneman wrote about World War II. A lot of the songs were about World War II. He was a history buff. Ozzy was a history buff. Like, these are things to educate people, not to make them violent or aggressive. And to, like I said before, to let people know they're part of something and they're not alone in what they're experiencing. Because I think that's probably the worst feeling, when you're alone in what you're experiencing or think you are. You know, if you have a support system, then you can realize there's nothing really wrong with you. You just have things that you're experiencing that other people are experiencing as well. And everybody can help each other that way.
That's totally true, and I'm very happy that one of our fan now. We were talking like that was the day of like World Day of Mental Health, and
Hmm.
it was like 1 week when I was posting about mental health and our songs and all the things, and um, like because of these, one of our fan, she reached me out and she told me that she's struggling with something, and I was talking to her and I was like, okay, this is something I can't help you because it's quite serious. So let's try to find some help. You can't. Okay. Let's try to search for something where you can just even call them, even call
Yeah.
somebody, that you don't have to feel alone. And then I was talking about to her about it, and I found some people who are offering like the first help on the phone, so, and it's for free. So I told her, please, tomorrow call them, just try to talk about this thing. You don't have to be alone. And this is amazing that you are just spreading awareness and somebody just reach you out and just, you know, is trying to find the help, because we also have had another fan, and unfortunately he lost this battle and he
Mm.
committed a suicide.
Oh,
And it was also the thing that when I realized that I have to, on, like, now we are going to release EP, so the next thing should be album, and I'm definitely going to sing about these things even more, because I really feel that people, as you said, feel that they are alone in this
Yeah.
shit.
And think about it, like it doesn't matter who you are, because look at Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington, like Taylor Hawkins, all these people. You look at them, and it happens to a lot of musicians. They look at them and like, oh, you have the dream life, but they don't know the dark side either. Those people, and maybe those people, and I know definitely, they feel alone too. And you think, how could they feel alone? But you have to walk in somebody's shoes to really understand that.
Totally
So,
true.
so thank God for people like you that are spreading the message, because unfortunately, the one that did take their life, that's horrible. But how many people did not because of what message you have in your music? That's what I think of. There's probably quite a few, even the ones you don't know about.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. And I always said that if even if the music would save just one life,
Hmm.
then I won.
There you
Then I
go.
did a good thing.
I love it. I love it. And so tell us more about the new EP. It drops on November 7th, Shatter and Bloom. I love that name. I know exactly what it means just by the name, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. So this EP, yeah. So whenever we released anything, the first EP was Upside Down. The second album it was Persistence, and now it's Shadow and Bloom. And I'm always trying to figure out like how to name the thing according to the songs and also the situations and everything I've been through when I did these songs when I wrote them. And I was thinking about this because yeah, last year it was kind of challenging for me. And Monster is about toxic relationships, and it's not only about your partner. It can also be colleague, friend, anybody who's pretty toxic for you. And unfortunately, I went through it last year, and it was very challenging for me and for my mental
Mm.
health. So I decided to put all the aggression and all the frustration I had into this song. And I was happy that some people reached me out after we have released it, and they told me like, okay, I've been through this shit as well. I'm very happy that you brought this to light and that you're talking about it, singing about it. So and then times up again, frustration, hate, anger. Even though this story didn't happen to me, it happened to one person that I really care about and care for. And it's like I felt it really personally when this one guy hurt this person that I really like. And I was like, and it's again offline world, online world.
Yeah.
This guy, he doesn't know how to live in offline world. He knows how to live online. He did terrible things, and I had to put it into music. And then we started to compose with our current guitarist and Shatter and Bloom and Silence After Violence. We did it together, and this is something, especially Shadow and Bloom, I would say it's a spark of hope that something new is just blooming, and it's just some that you have to really shatter out, destroy something that it's not working. But what I mean with like destroy, it's like to burn it to the fucking ground,
Yes,
the
I
fucking
agree.
ashes, and
I
then just
agree.
have something nice and new bloom from this. Because I really tried in my life and in a band, I really tried to do compromises. I really tried to understand everybody and just like, okay, let's do it this way. Oh, you can't, and blah blah blah. No, no. You always have to think like, now it's going to sound very bad, but I think you would understand it. You will always have to think about yourself first, because if you're not happy, if you
You
are
c-
not okay, nobody else can be around you.
Oh,
And
no doubt.
this was, yeah, and it was the time when I was like, okay, but what I want, what I would like to do, what I would like to have. And that was the breaking point when I was like, okay, that's enough. So
Yeah,
Shatter and Bloom.
you know, and it really, I believe it wholeheartedly. I mean, think about what you just said, and think about when you get on a plane. What they tell you is like put the oxygen mask on yourself first, not on your kid first, not on the person you're with first, and that says it all right there. And I also besides doing radio, I'm also a motivational speaker, and a lot of people before me always said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I have a different thing that I teach. If it's not broke,
Mhm.
break it. Because just what you said, it's funny. My best bro since like 13, he was saying when all this stuff started going on around our country that was really bad, back in like 2016. And he's like, it's funny, you're going to laugh because he said, we need to just have a civil war and burn this place to the ground. That's exactly what he said. Because it's true. Think about it. Like, I don't know if you experience it over there, but like in California, there's the wildfires. And the way you stop
Mhm.
them from being dangerous is burning them before they catch on fire. And when you burn the hills, the stuff that grows back after you burn it is so beautiful because I think it's kind of like because it has a clean slate to come back beautiful. If you try to take shit and make it gold, it's still going to be shit. You got to get rid of the shit and then bring the gold.
And that's the thing. And yeah, I can't agree more. I was like, my whole life I was trying to, as you said, to fix it and just try to understand it and try to understand others, in even if they were toxic, even though they did really bad things, they treated me as a shit, but I tried to fix it, because I think this is something you are taught as a child, just to be good boy and good girl and be
Right.
nice and be kind. Yeah, be nice and be kind. Yeah, but first to yourself and then to the others. Like, it's true, but in a slightly different way. And I totally agree with you. And that's what I basically did. I burned everything down, and now I think, I hope, now is the time for something beautiful to bloom.
Well, you know what's going to be beautiful that blooms is this EP on November 7th. That's what's going to be beautiful.
On vinyls.
So tell everybody how they can connect to you guys on the anti-socials and how they can get to your Bandcamp, buy your merch. You got cool merch, and get the EP.
Yeah, so basically we have Linktree, so you can find all the socials and everything in here. But yeah, we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok. Merchandise you can buy on our Bandcamp, or you can just simply write a message to us. And that's it.
Nice. Is there anything else you want to share with the listeners that we haven't covered already that they need to look out for?
That we haven't covered. Well, I really hope that if you're listening to this, I hope you don't feel depressed and suicidal, because we digged really deep into our dark souls. But yeah, we are super glad and super honored and happy that we can release our EP. It's going to be the third thing that we are about to release, and this is the first time we're going to have it on vinyls, which is super
Wow.
special. And I really, yeah, and I really look forward when these vinyls come to me and I can look at them, because I have test pressing at home, but I don't have all the cover and all the beautiful stuff in there. So I will look forward to it. And also, I have already graphics for new T-shirts that are designed for this EP. They are amazing. I really love this design, and I really hope that the fans will love the design as well.
Nice. And I just thought about, okay, so there's a festival in the UK that I do coverage for that you guys definitely fit in perfectly. And again, I'm putting it out there, and I'm actually going to tell them that you guys should play there. Do you know the festival Do you know the festival Bloodstock? So that's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. And one of the reasons it's one of my favorites, have you ever been to Bloodstock?
Unfortunately
So
not.
they have this one stage, it's probably the stage you should play on, called the Sophie Lancaster stage. Do you know?
Okay.
I don't know if you know the story about Sophie Lancaster, but basically, she was a goth girl that was with her boyfriend, leaving a show one night I think it was in London, got attacked, and she was murdered because she was goth, because she was different. And so ever since then, Bloodstock has supported, there's an organization called the Sophie Lancaster Foundation where they raise money against this kind of stuff. And I think it's her mother that runs the organization. And Bloodstock has a stage named after it called Sophie Lancaster Stage. But they also, they're all big in the organization. And that's, I forget which day it is, but I think it's the first or second day of the festival. Everybody wears
Uh-huh.
pink. Everybody wears pink. All these metalheads, like tough ass metalheads, are all wearing pink in support of Sophie Lancaster, and,
Oh,
spreading the message that you don't bully people just because they're different, and you don't bully people just because they're not like you, look like you. That's what's happening in my country right now. Like, it's getting worse than ever because you have the leaders making it okay to be an asshole and okay to hate and bully. And so then you have all the, you know, cultish followers that
mhm.
follow along. Some of them are people I've known for years and I didn't know. That's why I'm almost thankful for some of the things going on in society today, because then you know who the real haters are, you know, because
Yeah.
they're showing their faces right now. And it's it's disgusting, and that's why we all need to band together and, kill the hate with love, because that's what the whole world needs. And that's what
Yeah.
one thing that you are providing in your music, so I love that. And doing it in a
Thank you so.
brutal way.
Well, actually, I have to say that my therapist, she told me that during some of her sessions, before she met me, she was playing Rammstein to her like clients, and she told me that there's no other music genre that goes so deep in your soul and so deep in your heart. And she told me that she's playing metal, and then I was okay. I have new songs for you, and so I like played my songs for her. And now the next time I saw her, she was like, "Okay, I played your songs, and it went really really great. Thank you."
Nice. I love it because it is the best therapy there is. Like, if
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
get out of my darkness, I listen to loud, heavy, brutal metal, because that,
and it's
and
peace.
only us can understand that too. Like, there's so many people that, how could you be? It's funny. People laugh at me because when I'm going to do a motivational seminar, my warm up for that is like blasting like Slayer in the car on the way there.
Yep.
It gets me
Yeah.
pumped up.
Yeah.
It gets me in a positive mood. Some people
Yeah.
that don't understand, but we understand, because it does go deep. And and like, one of my favorite lyrics of all time is by Bring Me the Horizon, because I think Ollie's like a brilliant lyricist. And it's, you I can't drown my demons, they know how to swim. To me, that like is so brilliant, because we all have demons, we all have darkness, and that's why we
Yeah.
need
Tell me
music
about it.
like yours.
I can't agree more.
Right? I mean, first time I
Yes.
heard that, I'm like, oh my god, that explains it all.
Exactly. Exactly. Whenever I'm searching for some like to be like inspired by, and I'm going through their lyrics, it's always like, that's it.
Exactly. So thank God that we have STELLVRIS so we can have that mental health therapy that we need. So
Yeah, and more is coming.
there you go. And I hope to see you at festivals. And you need to come over to US and do some of the US festivals. And
I really hope so. I really hope so.
and because of what you do and how great you are at it, anytime you need promo, I'll be here to promo you. And everybody needs to buy some merch and your album or they can't listen to my show.
Thank you so much. It was really lovely to meet you, and I really hope that we can meet in person in offline world somewhere, because I think we would have a lot of things to say to each other.
Absolutely. I agree, and I can't wait. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.